As we are inching closer to another reboot of our favorite red underwear donning alien, let's take a trip down memory lane to where it all started. No, too modern. He's wearing the underwear correctly, a bit further back.
No one remembers this one. Further back.
No, too far back. Something a bit more modern.
Here we go. Just exactly what we're looking for.
Hi movie lovers!
Welcome back to our channel.
Today, we are recapping the 1978 Superman, directed by Richard Donner, starring Christopher Reeves. If you like the video, don't forget to give us a thumb up and subscribe.
Or you may receive a bit of kryptonite in your mail.
We begin the movie on planet Krypton, where Jor-El, a member of the Krypton Council.
When you don't read the script, you land on Krypton, the neighbor planet, instead of Krypton.
Planet Krypton.
He is condemning a group of 3 people, General Zod, Ursa, and Non, of cruelty against mankind and the universe. They are to be exiled into the Phantom Zone. It's hard to believe that the special effects 40 years ago still looks pretty good to this day, unlike some of the modern movies we know.
I no longer go by the name Astrid.
My eyes!
After exiling the villains, Jor-El then tries to warn the council that their home planet will explode in 30 days, but no one sided with him.
They didn't want to listen to him because he doesn't even know what planet he's on.
Planet Krypton.
To not be considered traitors against the council, Jor-El declared that his wife and he would remain on Krypton.
Do you mean Krypton or Krypton? What did the cue card say?
But his son is a different story. When his fear came true and Krypton is about to explode, he used a crystal spaceship to send his son to Earth, a more primitive environment.
The greatest nepotism, sending your kid to an easy planet, Earthen.
Yeah, boy.
Jor-El said goodbye to his son and sent him on his way.
Got an expedition dump before shooting your kid into space.
The spaceship carrying the baby exits Krypton just in time the planet literally exploded into pieces.
Oh no, the best suits in the universe have been discontinued!
As the baby travels across the universe to Earth, he receives lessons about all things universe from pre-recorded tracks from his father.
Is this the best Spotify playlist I could find? Marlon Brando reading cue cards?
The spaceship crash-landed in Smallville, Kansas. An old couple, Jonathan and Martha, saw the crash and found Kal-El crawling out.
Luckily the asteroid didn't hit their truck.
Conveniently, the couple were hoping for a child, so they adopted the boy.
I think Martha just stole that child.
The couple quickly realized the boy is not normal when he lifted the truck.
Maybe when a child pops out of an asteroid, that would be a dead giveaway?
Fast forward, Kal-El is now a high school football team manager. Lana, his high school crush, asked him to a party, but he was bullied into cleaning the team's gears. Frustrated, he kicked the ball.
How did the ball not explode or get sent into space?
He outran a train to catch up with his schoolmates.
How come the girl is the only one that saw him running next to the train?
He had a quick conversation with his dad about his abilities and how frustrated he is for not being allowed to do what he can do.
Classic teenager.
His dad told him that he believes Clark has a bigger purpose than just to kick a football around.
Hope Jonathan gets to see his son grow up to be a great man.
Silly Clark asked his dad to race him, leading him to have a heart attack.
There's Jonathan's kryptonite, jogging.
Clark felt guilty for not being able to save his father despite all his powers.
That's one power he doesn't have, heart surgeon.
One night, Clark heard something calling him and went inside the barn, where he found his old spaceship and a crystal emitting green light.
Hey, that's kryptonite, don't touch it!
One early morning, his mom saw him standing far away in the field. Does he not understand that his parents are old? He makes his mom walk all the way over there.
Bloody hell, Clark, she's gonna have a heart attack.
He said his teary goodbye to Martha and headed up north.
Canada? Alaska? How north are we talking here?
His journey took him to the Arctic, where he threw the greenstone into the snow. From there, a humongous structure ascended, resembling the architecture we saw on Krypton earlier.
I just realized they don't have trees on Krypton. They have crystal bases.
This is the Fortress of Solitude. Clark enters and examines the inside. As he randomly places the crystal inside a tube, a projection of Jor-El appears in the middle of the structure.
Marlon Brando, Jor-El, finally learned how to say Krypton, right?
He then learns about his origin and studies all the material his father had prepared for him. 12 years later, armed with the newfound knowledge and abilities, Clark traveled to New York to become a journalist for the Daily Planet. To plan in as his father has instructed.
Just put on a thick pair of glasses.
This is where he met Perry White, his boss. Jimmy Olsen, the photographer, and Lois Lane, a supposedly good journalist who does not know how to spell. On their walk around the city, Clark and Lois ran into a gunman who tries to rob them.
Oh well, some things never change in Metropolis.
While Clark was trying to reason with a robber, Lois used the oldest trick in the book.
Look over there, a distraction!
As she kicked the robber, he fired his gun and then ran away. When Lois was not looking, Clark caught the bullet with his bare hand and pretended to faint, which made Lois think that he's a bit of a wuss.
his new magician's act, to catch a bullet and to look into women's handbags.
Meanwhile, a couple of detectives follow a man named Otis, a henchman of a big man, Lex Luthor. The detectives stop to come up with a plan and briefly lost track of Otis. One of the detectives left to call for backup while the other one tried to find Otis.
Couldn't they have just followed him together and called the backup at the same time?
Otis ditched the train and got on the train tracks and is followed closely by one of the detectives.
He's lucky that Otis graduated at the top of incompetent goon class.
Using a passing train as a diversion, Otis escaped from the detective through a secret door on the wall. Must have hired the same contractors that built the Batcave.
Lex Luthor is just a bad guy Batman.
While the detective examined the door Otis escaped from, a man controls the door and pushes him into an incoming train. The other detective came with 2 backup policemen to find out that his partner had perished.
All that time for 2 policemen?
It was revealed that man was Lex Luthor, a cruel and evil genius, or as his girlfriend, Miss Textmaker, puts it.
Sick.
Lex reveals that he's working on a master plan so that he could acquire more real estate.
He did not have Bitcoin back then. He would have made Lexcoin.
Simpler times when the villains are just greedy businessmen living in an underground mansion. While Lex was busy scheming, Clark was busy fitting in the journalist's life at the Daily Planet. People seem to treat him with so little respect that he may as well be invisible.
Crazy what a pair of glasses does.
It was revealed that the Daily Planet has private helicopters to take Lois to an urgent assignment.
Damn, they really take journalism seriously.
While taking off, a broken wire caught the helicopter, causing it to lose control mid-air. The helicopter wiped out the control office, knocked down the pilot before barely hanging on the safety rail. The door on Lois' side swung open, putting her at risk of a massive fall. She unbuckles herself and tries to climb to the other side.
Hopefully there's a superhero nearby.
Below, the police and firemen are trying to control the crowd and set up a parameter. Seeing Lois in danger, Clark tried to find a phone booth to get change, but none was available, so he had to get creative. He rescued Lois just in time and even caught the helicopter. The crowd goes wild.
They have never seen a man wear his underwear on the outside before.
He put Lois back to safety before flying away. Lois fainted then and there.
I would have fainted too if I was in Lois's shoes.
The flying special effect is actually pretty sick for its time. Superman spent the next few hours stopping petty crimes.
He's already in his work clothes, might as well.
Like trying to stop a burglar to be like Tom Cruise. He also noticed a bunch of masked gunmen trying to escape from the police.
They left their friends behind. Well, that's 2 fewer shares.
The robbers were counting their money when they saw Superman standing on their boat.
That guy tried to sucker punch Superman and turned himself into a sucker.
Back in the police station, the sergeant did not believe the police officer who had seen Superman until he saw him putting the boat with the criminals on the sidewalk.
All the police officers will need a drink after that.
The all-American hero even stopped by to save a cat from a tree.
Too bad he could not stop the girl's mum's backhand.
He also helped the crashing Air Force One plane in the middle of a thunderstorm.
You know, trust the pilots, just keep going.
All of these miraculous actions got to Lex's ears while he was swimming in his underground lair.
Why is the assistant sunbathing without any sun?
Lex got fired up and jealous, and he theorized that Superman might not be from this world.
Really? What gave that away?
The news of Superman spread like COVID-19 to all the newspapers. And of course, Perry White wants the Daily Planet to be the exclusive publisher for this story. While Perry White was giving a pep talk to his employees, Lois got a note that a friend would meet her at her place later that night.
Where's Drake? Where's Drake? He used to call me on my cell phone.
All dressed up, Lois waited for Superman, but he was late.
I guess that's why they don't call him super punctual.
He got to the place and had a night interview with Lois.
Tinder before Tinder? Fly by Tinder? Flighter?
He then revealed to her pretty much everything, his measurements, home planet, and his purpose on Earth.
Not before he peeked into her underwear. She did ask him to do it.
Then he took her for a flight.
Who needs a private jet when you have red underwear?
They flew around New York landscaped and into the cloud.
Why does this look familiar? Aladdin? A whole new world.
But flying alone is not enough to get a girl to fall in love with you. You know what else you need? Danger!
Man, Superman has a weird way of showing his affection. He gave his dad a heart attack and now he drops Lois?
Needless to say, Lois literally fell head over heels for Superman after that stunt. Just look at the way she looks at him. He returns her home and flies away, while Lois utters the nickname she gave him, Superman.
Not super jerk. He just dropped her out of the sky. He should bring seatbelts next time.
Clark then showed up at her apartment and almost revealed to her his identity.
A bit soon, don't you think?
And why would he go on 2 dates with her as 2 different people?
That's a bit greedy.
The interview got published and got to Lex and his lackeys. From the interview, Lex learned about the planet Krypton and found a potential Kryptonian meteorite in Addis Ababa,
That's in Ethiopia.
which can potentially kill Superman, and they can use lead to prevent him from seeing through things, as described in Lois' interview. That interview taught Lex everything he needed to know to harm Superman. Seems like Lois is the real villain here.
He did almost drop and kill her, so that's fair, I guess.
Lex and his gang then staged a car accident and got Miss Texmaker to distract the soldiers while they were transporting a nuclear warhead.
They might have written a book on how to be bad soldiers.
While the colonel was busy resuscitating Miss Texmaker,
I think that's sexual assault.
Otis set the coordinates of the nuclear warhead before Lex pretended to be a paramedic and picked them up. Being the incompetent henchman that he is, Otis made a mistake with the coordinates, so they have to come back to reset them.
Too bad his arm wasn't long enough for all those codes.
Their plan B is to transport a fake house to block the route of the soldiers while Miss Texmaker resets the coordinates.
How can she climb a bridge in that dress?
During this time, Lois was having an interview in her car with the owner of some desert land around a dam, which was all purchased by a secret buyer at a ridiculous price.
A secret buyer? I wonder who that is. Oh, also, don't interview and drive, kids.
At the Daily Planet, Perry told Clark that someone broke into a museum in Addis Ababa, killed 2 security guards, and stole a piece of meteorite, while Perry White was giving Clark a lesson on success.
Man, Perry White would have been a great podcaster.
Clark received a high-frequency audio message from Lex, letting him know that in 5 minutes, poison gas pellets will be released into the city air ducts, which will potentially wipe out half of the city's population.
Good thing no dogs can speak English.
Biscuits.
Clark jumped out of the window to go rescue people and got changed mid-air.
Right? No one saw him in the newspaper? That's another superpower, being invisible.
He flew to a spot in the city and drew his way underground.
Okay, how did he know that this was the spot to drill?
He got to Lex's lair, let himself in.
His southern manners went right out the window with this one.
Lex went into a full presentation mode for his plan.
How nice of him to carefully explain to Superman exactly where his targets are going to be.
But at that time, he had already launched 2 rockets at 2 different targets. His ultimate plan is to destroy the West Coast, where all the most expensive lands like Los Angeles and San Francisco are located, so that his worthless desert lands will rocket in price.
Great plan. Open Lexland.
Superman learned that the first target is in San Andreas Vault, where Lois and Jimmy Olsen are on assignment.
Damn, Lois has no luck at all.
Lex told Superman that with 2 rockets heading for 2 opposite targets, his super speed could not get to them in time, and the only way to stop them is using his detonator. He tricked Superman into opening a lead box which contains a piece of kryptonite.
Makes you wonder how he got in the box in the first place. The radiation is off the charts on this thing.
Superman immediately got weakened by the kryptonite, and Lex puts it around his neck to neutralize him.
Thinking, after all that studying he did, you think he would have been smarter than this.
He pulls a classic James Bond villain move, throwing Superman into the pool, and left before knowing for sure that the hero had truly perished.
Classic villain move. How else is the hero going to escape and use the Ex Machina?
Upon learning that the second target is in Hackensack, New Jersey, Texmaker regrets her decision to help Lex. So, she helps Superman escape after making him promise to save her mother first.
She snuck in a kiss before removing the kryptonite. That's sexual assault right there.
Freed from the chain, Superman kept his promise and flew to New Jersey to save Texmaker's mothers first.
You know, because he can't lie.
After pushing the first rocket into space, Superman rushes back for the other rocket, but was too late.
Late again.
The rocket hit and caused multiple earthquakes. After fixing the world's biggest pothole, he came to rescue the civilians on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Man, the insurance company lost their bonuses this year.
He also had time to do a plank challenge so that a train could go through.
A plank challenge? Hell yeah!
Meanwhile, the dam where Jimmy Olsen is on got affected by the earthquake and collapsed, but Superman got there just in time to save Jimmy.
And then just to abandon him in the middle of nowhere.
Lois' car ran out of gas in the middle of the earthquake and got swallowed by the crack. She's trapped while dirt quickly buries the car.
To be fair, she could have gotten out and ran.
All the surrounding areas got flooded by the water from the broken dam, but Superman stopped the water by building a dam from rocks.
New power. Beavers, man.
While admiring his old rock formation, he heard Lois' struggling noise and flew to rescue her, but then again, he was too late.
His tardiness really costs him.
Crushed by the loss of Lois, Superman ignored what Jor-El had told him about not interfering with mankind history, turned the Earth backwards, turning back time to just before Lois was caught by the earthquake.
I don't think that's how time travel works, but oh well. That's where the Flash learned it from.
At least he didn't forget to turn it around the right way. After saving Lois, Superman went back and caught Lex and Otis and brought them to jail before their plan could be executed.
Lex was wearing a toupee the whole time? You mean he was bald?
In the final scene, Superman flew out of the Earth's atmosphere and smiled at the camera.
Welcome to Earthen.
Did you like the movie? Let us know in the comments. Like the video.
Subscribe, hit the bell. We'll see you in the next video.
And don't be late.
Because we can't fly around Krypton.